Fear. In a quiet little village, nestled among rolling green hills, there stood a small, forgotten oil lamp tucked away in the corner of an old wooden house. It wasn't a very big lamp, and its light wasn't particularly bright. But this little lamp held a very big dream. More than anything, it wanted to be the one to light up the entire room. There. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, the family who lived in the house would light the grand sparkling chandelier that hung in the center of the room. The chandelier would come to life, casting a brilliant, dazzling glow that danced on the walls and filled every nook and cranny with light. From its lonely corner, the little lamp would watch, a soft sigh escaping its tiny frame. It would whisper to itself, "Oh, I wish I could shine like that. If only I could be that bright." The chandelier seemed so confident, so important, while the little lamp felt small and insignificant in its shadow. One day, a sudden, fierce gust of wind rattled the old house. It whipped through an open window, a cold and powerful force. The magnificent chandelier flickered once, twice, and then, with a final sputter, its flames were extinguished. The room was plunged into an immediate, shocking darkness. The family gasped, their laughter cut short. The little lamp, still lit in its corner, trembled. Its small flame shivered, not just from the draft, but from fear. "I'm too small," it thought, its heart sinking. "My light is just a tiny flicker. I can't possibly help. I'm not enough." The darkness felt heavy, oppressive, and the lamp felt its own light shrank even smaller in the vast emptiness. But then, in the suffocating silence, the little lamp remembered something the kind-hearted grandmother of the house once said. She was polishing the lamp one afternoon, and she had whispered, "You know, my dear, even the smallest light can push away the darkness." Those words echoed in the lamp's mind, a spark of hope in the gloom. It was a simple thought, but it held a profound truth. Maybe it didn't need to be as bright as the chandelier. Maybe just being a light was enough. Summoning every ounce of courage it possessed, the little lamp took a deep breath and let its flame rise, gently but steadily. It pushed back against the fear, against the doubt, and focused on being the best lamp it could be, in that moment. Its glow wasn't as bright as the chandelier's, not even close. It didn't fill the entire room with dazzling light. But it was enough. A soft, warm, and steady glow spread out from its corner, creating a small, safe circle of light in the overwhelming dark. The family, who had been frozen in the sudden blackness, turned toward the gentle radiance. A smile spread across the mother's face. The father let out a relieved sigh. The children, who had been scared just moments before, now looked at the little lamp with wide, grateful eyes. They carefully made their way towards it, their hands outstretched to feel its warmth. They gathered around the little lamp, huddling close in its comforting glow. They started to talk again, their voices soft and low. They shared stories. They laughed. The fear and uncertainty brought by the darkness melted away, replaced by a feeling of togetherness and safety. They felt connected, not just by the light, but by the shared experience. That night, as the family slept soundly, the little lamp glowed with a newfound sense of purpose. It realized something incredibly important. It didn't need to be the biggest or the brightest light in the room to matter. It didn't need to compete with a magnificent chandelier. It just needed to shine its own light, right where it was, especially when it was needed the most. Its value wasn't in its size or its brilliance, but in its willingness to show up when darkness fell. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The seasons changed outside the old wooden house. And whenever storms would rage, whenever the wind would howl and extinguish the other lights, the family wouldn't panic. They would simply turn to their faithful friend in the corner. They would light the little lamp, and its steady flame would once again become the heart of their home. And a funny thing happened. Every time the little lamp glowed in the darkness, it felt stronger. It felt more confident. Not because its flame had grown physically bigger or brighter, but because its spirit had stopped looking at the chandelier with envy. It had stopped comparing itself, stopped wishing it was something else. It had found its own unique strength, its own purpose. It understood that its role wasn't to be a spectacle, but to be a comfort. Its quiet, steady glow was a beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience in the face of the unknown. You know, sometimes in our own lives, we do the same thing. We look at others around us, at their successes, their talents, their confidence, and we think they shine so much brighter. We look in the mirror and think we are too small, too quiet, too average. We feel like we're not enough. We doubt our own abilities and question our own worth, hiding our light away in a corner. But just like that brave little lamp, we all have our own unique light within us. It might not be a dazzling spotlight, and that's okay. It might be a soft, gentle glow, too. And when we find the courage to let that light shine, even in a small way, we have the power to make a profound difference. We can make someone feel safe. We can comfort a friend who is lost in their own darkness. We can be a beacon of hope that reminds someone they are not alone. The moral of this story is a beautiful and simple one. 2. You won't have to be the biggest or the brightest light to make a difference in this world. Even the smallest flame, the quietest voice, the most gentle act of kindness has the power to brighten the very darkest moment. So don't be afraid to let your own light shine. Thank you for listening. Please follow our channel for more heartwarming stories.